All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about cheating and or cheaters. And we are going to try to somewhat determine with your help, of course, in this video, we're going to try to determine to see what we think in terms of how many players, in terms of a percentage base, are actually cheating in multiplayer games today. I did a little bit of a smaller sample size in my community tab to where I asked you guys how many people do you think are cheating in multiplayer games these days, and 21% of you voted 10% or less, 18% of you voted 20%, 15 of you voted 30%, and 41 of you, which is a majority, voted for more than 30%. I even went on X or Twitter and even asked Drifter himself in terms of what percentage of players does he think are cheating in multiplayer games today, and even he has no idea according to his response. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the concept of the little sample size from my community tab, and we're going to kind of expand it on here, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth because I want, like, obviously you guys play all sorts of different games, right? Some of you guys play Call of Duty, older and or more recent. Some of you guys might play Halo. Some of you guys might play Battle Royale or everything in between. Everything. Hell, even with your recent experience in the XDefiant playtest session, right? Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we all see things and we all have a certain level of experience. I'm pretty sure that the vast majority of you that are probably watching my channel have been playing multiplayer games for a significant number of years. And I'm sure you guys have seen your fair share of things that are either questionable or something that just doesn't seem right, or in terms of what you've been experiencing with your particular situation, regardless of what multiplayer game that you are playing. So, and the funny thing is, I saw a video, and if I can find the link, I'll post it after this recording. But there are some professional people out there that are trying to use AI in order to combat the cheating problem, which is really, really hard to detect via humans, but AI can detect it because it's become so sophisticated lately. And there's just so many protocols that basically these cheats are able to do to where they're pretty much undetected. Unless you get AI to do it, and you got to program it, and you got to update it and all that kind of stuff. And I remember in the video, right, in this video that I saw, that ultimately that these creators that are trying to combat the system so that way we can have a true anti-cheat for multiplayer games, so that way we can save multiplayer games, so that way the cheating doesn't expand into higher numbers than what it is currently today. They believe that at least about 30% of people out there are cheating. Now, I don't know how true that is, but it's obviously a rough estimate, etc. But 30% is nearly 1/3 of the entire multiplayer player base, which is a very significant amount. And when you couple that with skill-based matchmaking nowadays, obviously these cheaters are going to be getting higher stats because, you know, they're using cheats, and therefore they're going to get higher stats. And of course, you've also got the fact that you're probably, if you're a good player, you might even be more likely to match up against these people because your stats are better than average, or however the system decides to combat it. But let's get right into it. So I want to know, with your experience, what percentage do you think of people that are cheating nowadays? Like, what are your experiences? Are you playing Battle Royale games? Are you playing old Call of Duty games, new Call of Duty games? Are you playing old-fashioned Halo, new-fashioned Halo? Because, like, for instance, here's an interesting thing, okay? Halo Infinite in March had, like, the big desync fix update, right? But at the same time with that update, what they did was they called it an upgrade or an update to the anti-cheat, and what they did was they regressed it. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that they went backwards. Instead of upgrading it, making it better, or updating the current system that they had, which was a decent system in and of itself, at least compared to what they have now, they basically gave it the same system that they gave the Master Chief Collection, which beforehand was just filled with cheaters left and right, and the system needed to be updated and fixed, etc., etc. And they gave Halo Infinite, the current Halo game, a downgrade. And right now people are just complaining left and right that cheaters are running rampant and it's ruining the game. And why in the hell, in your right mind, would you do that? Why would you downgrade and literally give your game the same type of anti-cheat that caused the Master Chief Collection kind of go downhill, so to speak, you know, and being rattled with cheaters. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, and it's like, it just, some of these things that these devs do, man, I don't know if it's the devs themselves that decide to do that or whether it's the publisher. I don't know. I don't know what else goes into that in terms of finances or whatnot, but it's pretty freaking insane. I mean, it just makes no sense. But anyway, with that being said, guys, I really want to know your experience and how many people you particularly think are cheating in games, because quite frankly, it's something that is becoming more and more of a problem and more sophisticated as time goes on. And it seems like for developers, right, that are trying to develop a game that you know, continuously battles the anti-cheat system, right, in terms of constantly updating it and just having a tug of war with, you know, the cheat providers or whatnot, and try to play a game of chess to where they try to counter what they do, et cetera, et cetera. It could really be something that ruins a game if it's not to a certain degree of protection, so to speak, right? There's no such thing as a perfect anti-cheat or whatnot. And let's not mention the fact that there's also, like, for instance, in my mind, I can't help but think, I really can't help but think that, for instance, like crossplay, if crossplay was removed, you know, it's like the only thing that we'd have to worry about is the Cronus situation. But at the same time, Cronuses can do quite a bit, and at the same time, these Cronuses are programmed. I mean, you put them in your PC, and then you download scripts or whatnot. So at the same time, it's just as much of a problem as hacks themselves, like regular cheats that a lot of PC players have been dealing with for God knows how long. So with that being said, I really want to know, in terms of your experience, and of course, what else can be done about it. There are those of you guys out there that are very knowledgeable in terms of how all this stuff works and such, but I'm wondering, is AI a good solution for combating and detecting a legit anti-cheat or whatnot out there? Or do we need to go in a different direction? Or what do you guys think? Because it's a problem that needs to be solved eventually if multiplayer gaming is to be safe. Because again, if this 30% of people that are cheating in online multiplayer games is a legit number, or an estimation that is close enough to actually what the real number is, that is very concerning to me. I don't know about you guys. I know some of you guys quit caring because of all the BS that you had to deal with in multiplayer to begin with, which I totally understand. But for those of you guys that still do care, and if you do care about the preservation of multiplayer as well as all this other stuff, what do you guys think can be done? Like a legitimate question. And of course, do you guys think it's 30%, or if not slightly more? Do you guys think it's under? And of course, you know, if you guys are willing to tell a few stories here and there in accordance to the game that you play and what you've personally experienced, down in the comment section below, that'd be great. And I'm pretty sure it would be very informative. And I think it's something that needs to be talked about a lot more, because again, first step to solving a problem is realizing there is one. Now, we do realize there is one, but we got to keep talking about it, and we got to put the pressure on, or else it's just, or else things are going to just keep going in the direction that they're going, and we at least need to do something, and it all starts with a conversation. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end it here, and I'm really looking forward to your feedback down below in terms of what you guys have experienced and what game it was in, et cetera, and of course, which platform. That's another thing. So anyway, with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.